Let's go. Let's go. Welcome, YouTube. We are just getting started with a little Amazon FBA Q&A. Q&A. Got the TikTok live here, going on one of our potentially last TikTok lives ever, which is crazy to say. But for TikTok, if y'all want to go rock with me on the YT live, it would be much appreciated because TikTok is going to go away soon. So if you guys still want to see the lives, make sure you go turn notifications on there. If somebody in the TikTok, one of my people, want to type in what YT is, because I'm not allowed to say it, I'm going to get to everybody's question. I promise. Let's go get into it. But Phil, so a lot of waiting around, boring. We just had a manufacturer tell us this whole time for the last 2 months, they're telling us, don't worry, we're going to have the order in, because we had some issues and they had to make us not a custom sample, but a custom product. We were getting a bonus item that was, in my opinion, crucial to the success of the product. And some logistics didn't work with it. So we ended up having to get it remade, a little bit of custom. It was a pain, but the supplier was assuring us, yeah, don't worry, it's going to get in. We'll have it produced and shipped by Chinese New Year. And then they're like, we just got a message. They're like, hey, majority of our employees went home already, and we won't be able to produce it till after New Year. So things happen, unfortunately. Sometimes it is a lot of waiting around. TikTok has had a good run, allowed me to learn a lot about Luke. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be weird. I would imagine people who did Vine back in the day felt similar feelings. People who were on MySpace, you know what I mean? So social medias have come and go. It's not like I'm not going to be upset about it, but God's plan, yo. God's plan. Getting in these last TikTok lives. Yeah, bro. I think I'm going to try to go live every day until it's gone. Unless, like I said, we see a miracle from the Supreme Court. More so a miracle from God, but it'll be through the Supreme Court. Thoughts on Zuck's videos on Instagram and Facebook changes to come? I don't know, man. I've had my feelings, have my thoughts about Zuckerberg and Meta. I respect him a lot for what he came out and said that they did in 2020, but I don't know. We'll see. I think that IG would actually be pretty cool if it was like X. Although I don't really use X. I like video platforms. Sales are slow this month, but expected. Good time to brush up on PPC. Yeah, definitely. Just make sure that your margins are still good and your numbers are still good, Chris. In terms of January, it is a very slow month. It's probably for two of the accounts, slowest months. It's almost sad to see the numbers sometimes, but just make sure that your margins are still good, because conversion might be a little lower this month. You just want to make sure that everything's optimized and you have that locked in. The Supreme Court judges questioning the ban was interesting. I think the best person to listen to about anything that has to do with the ban is a channel on TikTok called, I think her is the News Girl or News Girl. Her name is Lisa. I reposted a few of her videos if you go to my channel, but she's very unbiased and she just says what it is. And I appreciate it, because one thing that you probably noticed yesterday, and guys, any questions about Amazon, I promise I'm just going to all the questions. But one thing that she points out is, I'm sure all of you guys watched the videos yesterday of people saying 3 out of 9 judges are going to vote this way. 1 out of 9 judges are going to vote this way. None of those people are the justices, right? And what she pointed out, and I loved, is that and this isn't to give false hope. It might be 80% that TikTok's gone, but the point that she's making is that the justices question all sides all the time. Not only that, sometimes it seems like they're going one way on a case, but they rule completely differently. So don't listen to my opinion about it. Don't listen to anybody else's opinion about it. At the end of the day, until the verdict comes out is when we know. Now, I have my opinion, but Should I route my PPC budgets? Not if you're running out of budgets, bro. If you're running out of budgets and you're not profitable, you might want to refine things a bit more. Are you using a 3PL for shipping from China? No. Would you explain the shipping process, please? Yes. So when shipping products, you create an Amazon list, or you create your Amazon listing, and then in your manage inventory tab, there's a drop down when you select that product that says send/replenish inventory. When you click that, it's going to bring you to a page where you fill out some box information about your product, how many unit, not the product itself, but like, let's say the big box that they put all the products in. So you're going to fill out some dimensions of that, the weight of that, how many units are in each box. And then you're going to just fill out like the shipping date and all of that. And then Amazon's going to give you your PDF shipping labels. So with that, if you had the products in-house, you would print them and put it on the box. But because you're having your manufacturer send the product, you would just send them the PDF labels, and then they would ship out the product. Or a freight forwarder. Tate, thank you so much for the follow. I don't have any water next to me, unfortunately. I have to go get some. Sales Pro. Also, y'all, I am live on YT. I'm about to pin one of the comments. YT. If y'all want to go rock with me on there, because just in case we do lose TikTok next, oh man, makes me sad thinking about it. Next Sunday, be sure to go lock in there. And I really like YT Live now, especially because number one, they're all recorded, so you guys can go rewatch all of the lives, and I can screen share. So yesterday, I'm not sitting there having to hold the phone. Yesterday, we actually did did we do live product research, or did we do, no, we were showing something called the path to purchase. So maybe today on YT, if we get 10 people in the YT live and 5 likes in the YT live, then we will do live product research. Do a screen share for everybody. Assalamu alaikum, bro. Salam. Is that the correct response? He will not understand this. I think I would. Did I respond correctly? When does Chinese New Year finish? I think mid-February, I believe. Let's go. Happy New Year, Luke. Happy New Year, Conrad. What up? What up? Good to see you, bro, in the YT live. For product launch, December was okay sales, but sales gone to 0. How many reviews do you have, Moby? I'm just curious. Jay, thank you so much for the follow. How can I start, please? What is the first step? Step 1, get a product research software, or excuse me, step 1, create an Amazon seller account. Step 2, get a product research software and find a product to sell. 76,000 impressions, CTR 0.3. It's a little low, but it's not too bad. Lowest price badge in 30 days. That's good. Good quality pictures, just 2 sales. How many reviews? How much have you spent on ads? Also, guys, like, I'm actually down today to let some people hop in the live and ask some questions. Only if I've seen you in the live before. So like Moby, I've seen Moby, Ahmed, Chris, all of them. If you guys have been in the lives, we can do that. Do you get products from warehouses here in the US? No, majority of my products are from overseas. What's a realistic expectation with 5K and scaling the business to 8K profit monthly? Well, number one, to get to 8 to 10K profit monthly, that's way down the line, Jay. So 5K is a great starting point for private label, but you have to understand, what does it take realistically to make 8 to 10K profit? So if you have a profit that's 30% profit margin, that means 10K profit, you would be needing to make about $30,000 in sales. Now, if you had 100% ROI on that product, that means that you would need to roughly be investing about $10,000 into that inventory. And so that being said, that 5K is a great starting point, but you're going to use that 5K for your initial order. You're going to build up. and then you're going to sell out that order, and then you're going to build up. You're going to sell out that order, and you're going to build up. It generally takes, 3 to 5 reorders. No, more like 4 to 6 reorders to get to a point like that. But 5K is a great starting point. Now, you can always start slowly, like I did, and scale up with the money that your business made. Or if you get proof of concept and you know that the product is profitable, and now it's just a matter of pouring more gas on the hypothetical fire, then you could inject more money into the business. What do you use for your books, and is it easy to use and integrate to Amazon? What do you use? Oh, for your books. I was like, books? I thought you were talking about books like this. I use QuickBooks, and yes, it is very easy, Kevin. I actually go over it in the program, Kev, but you can link QuickBooks to everything. So you can link your Amazon account, you can link your bank accounts, you can link any credit card you have, you can link your PayPal, you can link your Venmo, and then you can create expenditure reports, profit and loss statements right there. And depending on what QuickBooks you have, you can create like certain classes and stuff. So for example, you can just classify some of your Amazon stuff. You can classify your entire business as a whole. I have 19 reviews, Luke. Okay, Moby, if you have your Amazon stuff pulled up, if you can tell me give me these 4 metrics: ad spend, ad sales, total sales, and tacos. So tacos is going to be your ad spend divided by your total sales. Yo, Luke, do you know how to set up a discount on Amazon where it shows like 33% off? Yeah, Muck, I have it in the program, brother. How to set, I forgot which one. It's either, well, it depends what you want. There's coupons, which will show like the clipping, so 33%. Or you can discount the product, right? And then it can have the strike-through price, especially if you've had sales history at that existing price. And then there's also some other promotions that you can run. I would test both, because sometimes coupons convert better, and sometimes people will clip your coupon and then not even actually use it. And then sometimes just lowering the price, having the strike-through price is going to be lower. Which one do you recommend? What product research software, please? I personally like Helium 10. Because I'm a Helium 10 affiliate and I don't want people to think that I'm just shilling that, another alternative is Jungle Scout. I would say it's a preference thing, whichever one you prefer. They both will essentially do the same things and have pretty accurate data. Thanks for clarification. Of course, 3K invested in inventory, product sells for $40, cost of goods 25% of sales price, 25% margins. Would that be a correct way to calculate? 3K invested in inventory. Oh, I'm using my phone. Hold on, let's pull up a calculator. So if you have 3,000 invested in, how many units? That's also a factor as well. Because if that's, what would make sense with those numbers? It's 25% of selling price. Yeah, how many units? How much did you start with? How much do you recommend starting with? Minimum 3K. I think it's good to have more capital on the side to start. That's why I've started to say like more like 35. Minimum is 3, because if you go watch the 0 to 1 mil series, I launched that new product. The invoice for the cost of goods was $1,900. I show the invoice, and then I haven't showed this yet. I'm actually going to make a video about it. The original quote from my manufacturer for shipping was $1,100. And then I got 2 quotes from my freight forwarder. One was $560, which is like nearly 50% off. But the thing with that one was it was slow sea shipping. So like 40 plus days. And then we got another quote for $800, and that's fast sea shipping. So about 25 days. We're going to go with the fast sea shipping option, 200 units, $800. So all in for our cost of goods and shipping, 19 plus 8, roughly $2,700. And then we're going to get the listing created from my team. which if we were to do, obviously it's my team, so my prices are a little bit different, but let's say it was like the basic package, an extra 500 for the entire listing. And so all in, we're about 3,300. And then I also am going to allocate some money towards reviews. So I actually just realized that we were supposed to order 220 units. So I might have to correct that before Chinese New Year, because I wanted to allocate 20 units for reviews. But then we're going to go and allegedly get reimburse people to leave some reviews for us. And so we'll add that into the expense. So all in for our whole launch, because I don't add PPC into my budget, we'll launch for just under $4,000. And that's for my listing, for my cost of goods, for the shipping per unit, and for reviews. All in 4K, just about. How long did it take you from ideation to PDT listing to going live on Amazon? When I first started, I really need to remember, I need to go back and remember what month I decided to start selling on Amazon. But I know, you know what? There was a music festival that I went to in September. It's called Life is Beautiful. That was when I was still in my rave days. And then it was right after that, because I knew that that was going to be my last hurrah before I started the business. So September, it was the end of September. So October-ish, November-ish is when I decided to start selling on Amazon. And by January 1st, 2019, this was 2018. And then by January 1st, 2019, I had my first product live. That was my first launch. Generally, it takes 3 to 6 months to have a product live on Amazon. December 24, spend was No. Can you give, not on a single day, bro. Can you give me, oh, okay, wait. So January 25, spend 250, sales in just 2 weeks. Can you give me the last 2 weeks time frame, Moby? So sales for the last 2 weeks, ad spend for the last 2 weeks, total sales for the last 2 weeks. Which product research software do you use? Helium 10. Also, y'all, I am also live on YT right now. YT stands for YouTube. So if y'all want to tap in and rock with me, even if TikTok does go away in 9 days, make sure you guys go subscribe, because I will be going live there every day. How do you find your brands and manufacturers? Well, I create my own brand, so I'm not looking for brands. I'm looking for products, and I find my manufacturers on Alibaba. If I wanted to sell a universal TV remote, which is not a product that I would sell, just something next to me, then I would go on Alibaba and I would type in universal TV remote, and then a list of manufacturers who sell that product would appear, and I would start contacting all of them. Bianca, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate y'all. Is your TikTok 0 to 1 mil series available on YouTube? If not, maybe you could upload. It is, bro. Conrad. So Conrad asked it on YT. I need to make a playlist. So I have all the shorts there uploaded. Unfortunately, some of the videos were not uploaded to YT because YT only allowed 60-second shorts, but they just made an update where they allow 3-minute shorts now. So I'm going to go back, and all of the 0 to 1 mil shorts that were over a minute, I'll upload those to YT, and then I'll make a playlist for all of you guys to reference. And then what I'm going to be doing, I haven't, it's been like literally months since I've done a long form video on it, but I do have a long form YT for all you TikTok people, YouTube. Actually, I'm going to stop saying that. The app with the little red play button. I have a long form video of the 0 to 1 mil series, but there was a lot of like waiting in between, and I didn't want to make long form video. Like, it's easy to make a short form video of like, oh, we just placed our order, but I'm not going to make a whole long form video of, oh, we just placed our order. So I've been kind of waiting for a lot more to build up. And I think now that the product is officially ordered and stuff, I'll make part 2 of the YT series 0 to 1 mil. And that's where I'll discuss like all the challenges that we faced. I'll discuss the cost of goods, the shipping, our profit margins, how we decided to differentiate the product. And then I'll also talk about like how I got my listing created and all of that. Maybe even like how I created the listing. Like I said, the goal of this series is to be as transparent with y'all as possible, taking a brand new Amazon account from $0 to $1 million. YT stands for what? Say it louder, please. I couldn't hear. It's the app with the little red play button. How much does your mentorship cost? $2K USD, but it will be going up at the end of this month. Okay, cool. Thank you. Of course, Conrad. Also, y'all, even if y'all are just in the YT live listening to me yap, it really helps out the YT a lot. I'm trying to build up the YT like TikTok. I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers on YT. We're 3 subscribers away from 3,000. I never really paid much mind to that app, but we're going to go hard on it now. Should I launch after Chinese New Year? Sorry, I missed the answer earlier due to bad network. The answer, Hamid, was it ends around February. You should go through the steps as if you were going to launch before Chinese New Year, but the chances, if you haven't placed an order yet, the chances that you'll place an order, get it manufactured, and get it shipped before the end of the month is very low, but still go through the steps. Inspect element, what do you mean? When I launched, I had 96 units. I gave them 30 units for Vine. Then the sales kicked in. Nice. Do you go live anywhere else in case TikTok goes down in the future? Yes, Frank. The app with the little red, that's not a play button. Play button. If you guys know what that is, it's the app where you subscribe to people. I am currently live there right now. My @ is the same as my TikTok, Luke Basha. If y'all want to go rock with me on the YT live, and make sure you go turn on YT notifications, because I know that YT actually notifies people unlike TikTok. Hey, found it. Let's go, Frank. Welcome to the YT. God bless you. How much profit in your pockets for that sales? On this account, 40% margins after everything. My inventory was 300, but Amazon didn't put it on the shelf due to busy schedules. Yeah, sending an inventory during Q4 is very, very interesting. You have to technically get your inventory in. I believe the date this year was either December 3rd or December 6th. I think it was the 6th. Your inventory had to be in by December 6th in order for it to be available by Christmas. What can I do about my account being deactivated? Appeal the deactivation. Is Jungle Scout sales estimator accurate? The thing with any product research software, Helium 10, Jungle Scout, Salaram, Keepa, doesn't matter what it is, none of them have Amazon's data, right? So, really quick, sorry about that. None of them have Amazon's exact data. And that being said, they're going to give you almost like estimates based on their own algorithm. That's why I do say you want to go with like the most trusted product research softwares. You don't want to cut corners because of cost. That's why I recommend Helium 10 or Jungle Scout, because when I like there was a software that I used when I first started. It was called Unicorn Smasher. And you go look at the data from Unicorn Smasher, and it tells you their estimated revenues and stuff like that. But then when you cross-reference that data, if you were like an actual Amazon seller, and then you looked at your sales, your product sales on one of these external tools, you'll notice that it's way off. But then with Jungle Scout and Helium, what I've noticed is it's still not 100% accurate, but it's more or less pretty on point. Please read my message above. I couldn't write it all in once due to limitation. My inventory was 300. So if you can just let me know those numbers that I had asked Moby, I'd be able to give you better advice on what to do. Where do you get UPC barcode from? The official GS1 site, gs1.org. So you brand a product that you find on Alibaba, then send the units to Amazon? Yes, I don't find the product on Alibaba per se. I do product research on Amazon, and then I look it up on Alibaba. Okay, here it is. So December till today, total spend $898, CPC $227, sales $2,000. That's total sales, right, Moby? I just want to confirm. So you are at $898 divided by 2,859, bringing you to a tacos of 30%, which is honestly, I know it's not the best numbers, it's not bad. Assuming you have a 30% profit margin and your returns aren't bad, you're just about break even or maybe at a very slight loss. So with this, your cost per clicks are a bit high. There's a few things. Number one, I would go through your PPC campaigns and cut any fat that's not yielding you sales and has a high ACoS. So if you have anything 150, 200% ACoS, anything wild like that, that stuff should be cut. Allocate your budget towards the things that are working more. Now, I think that getting more reviews is still going to help you. You guys should never stop getting reviews along your Amazon journey. So that's number one, or number two, I guess. And then also you need to start focusing on rank. So for example, if a majority of your campaigns are auto broaden phrase, Amazon's algorithm is picking keywords for you. And it's not necessarily every day, every hour going to be consistent running the same keywords. So maybe one day, especially during the holidays, the algorithm is just on point and it's yielding you a lot of sales at a high conversion, but then maybe some of those search terms aren't as good. So I would put some of your efforts towards exact, right? Get more reviews. And I would also go watch I have a TikTok video in my drafts about it, but go watch yesterday's YT live that I did. So the one that was on January 10th, and kind of skip to the end. This is the perks of the YT lives, y'all. Skip to the end and listen to me talk about something called the path to purchase on Amazon. It's understanding where the customer is going, understanding where to place your ads. So you should be building out a strategy at this point. So targeting, like if you have a water bottle and you have an exact match, the keyword water bottle, well, you have the keyword side somewhat covered. Where your ad shows up is also a factor. But now you also want to go target competitors, some of your top competitors who are on the keyword water bottle, right? And start the ones who you have a competitive advantage over, more reviews, better product, better differentiators, things like that. If there's someone who's very close to you, they have 10,000 reviews, you have 5 reviews or 19 reviews, they're probably not the one to go target. YT blows me up about your videos. Do they tell you about my shorts that I post as well? All right, y'all, give me 30 seconds. I need to go get my water bottle. Okay. Who's your ROI? Average 100% plus. 1.3 after everything last year. Yes, sir. I think I missed your answer to my question. Sorry, going to repost. I'm planning on sending 200 units. Is it terrible if I run out of stock? When do I reorder? You reorder when you start to see that you're going to be running out of stock in an X amount of days, and when you see that the product is profitable. No, it is not terrible if you run out of stock. There's some Amazon people who try to make it seem like it's the end all be all if you run out of stock. Do you lose rank? Yes. Do you have to push a little bit to build that rank back up? Yes. If you had a good product before you went out of stock, are you still going to have a good product after you go back in stock? Yes. Do you recommend custom packaging? It depends if custom packaging is applicable to your market. If you sell a toy product, a candle, custom packaging probably matters. if you sell go watch one of my last like 15 or 20 videos on TikTok. I talk about why custom packaging doesn't always matter. If you sold something like the power strip that I have, my chargers and everything plugged into, custom packaging probably doesn't matter as much with that. You know my product. Should I send 10 or more units to Vine? I think so, Chris. I don't think it would hurt. The more reviews, the better. How many % of people do leave reviews on organic sales? A review conversion rate is like less than 2%. So if you get 1,000 sales, maybe 20 people will leave you a review. And that is why, and it's not guaranteed that those are all going to be 5-star reviews. And that is why, everybody, you push for as many reviews as you can in the beginning. Because even if you go get 100 sales, that might yield, even if you have a 5% conversion rate on reviews, which would be really, really good, you're still 100 sales in for 5 reviews. I have an individual account. What do you recommend for me to sell? I recommend you to get a professional account because you can't sell more than 40 units a month without it. What are you doing research? When you were doing research, what is your idea ROI? I look at profit margins in the beginning, especially on a first order, because you're not going to be at max profitability in the beginning. So I'm trying to be at 30% margins after FBA fees, cost of goods, and shipping. Bill, thank you for sharing the live. On Pulse, thank you for the follow. Which are the pros and cons of private label versus selling a branded product? So a few things. Number one, hold on, let me make sure that my phone, see, I knew my brightness was low on my phone. Hold on. My phone might die, so hold on. My phone charger that I usually use to charge my phone is connected to the camera. Ooh, Saved by the Bell. Let's go. All right. What was I saying? Private label, pros and cons. Whoops. Sorry. I think I might have to hold my phone, unfortunately. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. Okay. The thing is, every single business model out there has potential. So the guys who tell you, oh, private label is not good, blah, 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 blah. Arbitrage isn't good, blah, 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 blah. Wholesale is not good, blah, 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 blah. They're just trying to sell you the business model that they're doing. Now, I'll give you the pros and cons. With arbitrage, you hear the pros being you don't have to advertise, which can be a pro and con in itself because, okay, you don't have to advertise, you don't have to learn Amazon PPC, but then you're capped out, right? With one product, you can't drive more traffic to it because you don't own the traffic on that listing. It's shared by a lot of other people. And so, okay, let's say you sold socks. That's not a good example. Let's just do it. Let's say you sold socks. You're going to be capped out whether you sell Nike socks, Adidas socks, because you're going to be sharing that revenue essentially with everybody, unless you're beating them out on price significantly. But then with private label, if I sell socks, which is not a good market to sell in private label, but if I sold that, let's say my listing was doing 5K a month. If I start to optimize my listing, if I start to increase my ad campaigns, add new keywords, add new product targets, I can go from 5,000 to 10,000 to 15,000, depending on how big the market is. The sky's the limit. And then you also hear you get to use an existing listing that already has traffic, which technically can be a pro of arbitrage and wholesale, but then you don't have control over that listing. You're sharing the traffic with everybody. You're competing for the buy box, which, if you know anything about the buy boxes, you don't win the buy box day in, day out, hour after hour, 365 days of the year. With private label, I do. And okay, I don't have to create a listing. I use somebody else's traffic, but then that means I don't get to push for more reviews. I don't get to optimize for conversion. And so if there's a wholesale listing that has a 5% conversion, there's nothing that I can do to increase it to 10% and get literally double my sales with no more marketing efforts, just by increasing conversion. So that it limits you a lot. With private label, it's a lot more evergreen. So I know multiple people. I've been doing Amazon 6 years. My cousins have been doing Amazon a little over 7 years. I know people who have been doing private label for 10 years. And those people have seen growth on those products year over year, month, not every time month after month, but year over year over year on the same products, winning the buy box day in and day out. Although there are wholesale accounts that grow year over year, you won't find a wholesaler arbitrage seller who sells branded products who say, yeah, I sell this one product and every year we've seen 25% growth or 10% growth on this brand, right? You're growing by adding more products to the arsenal. That's essentially, once you're capped, that's the only way to grow. Whereas with private label, you can grow both by scaling the existing products you have and by launching more products. Also, let's say that you go and create a $10 million wholesale business. You can't necessarily go sell that brand because you're selling existing products. Even though there's not really anything proprietary about a commodity product either, if you created a $10 million private label brand, you can sell that for a pretty decent multiple, because especially if it's a trademarked and protected brand. My exact match is always going out of budget. Bestseller has 900 reviews, but averages 400. That's not bad, but you, like I said, get your reviews up. I don't click on them, so I wouldn't know. Not even subscribe to them. Subscribe, and I get them. Yeah, I follow on here, and it's crickets. Yeah, it's weird with the notifications. How much is your mentorship? 2K USD. Is Helium 10 request a review tool good? Yes, it is. That could help increase review conversion rate. Do you get your products from manufacturer and send to Amazon? Yes. Yes, they send it directly to Amazon for me. Can I upgrade from individual professional account in settings? Yes. My ASIN target campaign is doing well. Then other match type. You believe to increase bid on ASIN target. You don't need to increase bids for the sake of increasing bids, but if you're running out of budget, you can increase your budget on it. Where can I get proper monthly breakdown for my revenue and profit on Amazon? You can look in your reports, but the best way is either plugging it into a software like Helium 10, or you can always create a good old-fashioned expenditure report. But there are softwares that can do it. PPC strategy, long tail keywords for broad, exact for main keywords, phrase for some long tail, product target. Nice. I would test all of your keywords in all match types though. If you're doing decent already, because think about what broad and phrase are. So if you're putting long tail keywords in phrase match, they're not necessarily going to yield you the most sales. So like if I have red bandana for women in phrase match, it has to maintain that phrase. So what other keywords is it really going to yield me? And are those keywords going to drive rank that's going to take my product rank to the next level? You're not just playing a game of PPC sales. You're playing a game of trying to rank on your most important sales so you become less reliant on PPC. So if I sell a red bandana, what's going to matter more to have in phrase match and get new potential keywords that I can rank on? Red bandana for women or red bandana? I think bandana becomes a little bit more short tail, can become a little bit more broad, and that can get a little more costly. And so I would, my favorite place to be actually is in the mid tail, bro. So you have short tail. So like, just to break it down again, short tail would be a keyword like bandana. Mid tail would be red bandana. And then long tail would be red bandana for women. Short tail, it's going to cost you a lot more, especially if you have a tight budget. I would actually start in the mid tail, Move over to long tail by yielding and mining new keywords. And then once your product starts to rank, once you're profitable, that's when you can start going in and testing the short tail for your PPC ads. Let's go. If you order samples prior to sending to Amazon, yes, always. You got to test the quality. Shadow, thank you so much for the follow. Would you be open to hire a growth operator? I can help you with marketing. I already have like a product manager. Not really looking necessarily for anybody to help grow. We're just implementing strategies to grow. So unless you had like a specific skill in something, I already have an ad team and things like that. How much recommend saved up to enter private label? At least 3K. A good range would be like 3,500, 4K. You should be able to change your store name in your settings, Ruben. Sadat, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Hey, bro, I started doing eBay dropshipping. Do you have any advice, knowledge on it? I don't do eBay dropshipping, bro, so I do not. Let's go. Alrighty, everybody. I think that thanks for the help, Flip. If you come to Australia, please be my guest. Promise, please. Depending on where you are, bro, we can maybe do a little link up. I have a lot of people in Australia. I do appreciate it. I got some fam out there in Sydney and Melbourne that would be hosting me. Would be a little rude not to, but definitely would want to do a meetup if I'm ever out there, because my Australian and my Canadian fan base is pretty cool. Not pretty cool. They're pretty strong and pretty cool. Where'd you get your LLC? I used to do LegalZoom. Nowadays, I get corporations made. Can you give me an example of how much brand sales and how much is possible to sell a brand? Sadit, come over to my YT Live. I'm about to go exclusively live there for the next bit. And we'll do some screen sharing, and I'll show you guys some things with private label. Very helpful answers. Thank you very much. Of course, bro. Appreciate all of y'all. Thank you so much for the follow. How can I sell my own brand? Well, first off, before you focus on selling the brand, focus on building it up to a profitable point. Unless you have a small brand, but then the multiples aren't going to be that big on that. But on that note, TikTok, if you guys like the videos, you guys like the lives, and you want a more in-depth guide on how to sell on Amazon, be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship Program in the TikTok bio. I'm also hosting a free live webinar on January 15th. God bless you all. I'm going to be live on the app with the little red play button. If you guys want to come over there right now, I'll be live for a bit. God bless you and have a great weekend. Let's go, YouTube. I also like YouTube Live because it's like a little bit more free. What I can say, what I can do. That's a weird comment. But let's go over, let me close out some of these tabs here. Appreciate y'all rocking with me on the YouTube. I actually just learned the other day, or the other week, I should say, that YouTube lives go towards watch time on YouTube. So that's pretty cool. I want to go, let me change my location on Amazon really quickly. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, but my location always shows Wyoming, which is where my businesses are based out of. I'd like to change it to that. Okay, let's do screen share. Hopefully it doesn't lag. If it does, we for sure know we got to get the streaming site. This is going to be just for, hopefully that person came in here and show the potential of something really quick. Oh, we got some people in the, let's go. Okay, you guys can see the screen, right? Yes, you can. So let's go look at something like this. We'll go Nike. Oops, not Nike 6. Nike socks, okay. And Nike is obviously crushing it. So we see these guys, this listing 20K bought in the last month, 20K bought in the last month, 9K bought, 7K bought, 10K bought. So all pretty solid. Wait, some of these variations? No, right? So they're doing good. Let's actually even pull up our X-ray tool here. What up, Sheik? Good to see you. Appreciate you, all of y'all rocking on the YT live. Who's here from, drop in the chat, who's here from TikTok and who is here from just YouTube? Okay, so we see Nike crushing it, 250,000 in average revenue. Total revenue in the market is 16 million. Average reviews is up there as well. Actually, 11 mil, sorry. So let's look here. We got 2.7 million on this listing, all right? We're going to click on it. I'm always here. Let's go, Chris. Appreciate you. Okay. So here's this listing, but trip on this. We think, oh, look, they're making so much money. If I'm going to go do wholesale or arbitrage, I'm going to start this listing. And if I can just get 10% of their sales, I'll be making this much money a month. Okay, sure. But let's look here. Other sellers on Amazon. So remember, this is the buy box, everybody, and you're competing for the buy box. And ran out of battery. You're competing for the buy box. How many times have you guys bought something on Amazon that was not where you clicked add to cart or buy from this box? I'm sure maybe a few have gone and clicked other items, but not at scale. And so there are 51 other sellers here, all selling the same product, same listing. And then you're playing a game of undercutting. So we see they're the second to lowest price. They're the lowest by a penny. Then these guys match. And then these guys are a little higher. These guys a little higher. And so it's a game of like undercutting, right? And then you start to get to $29.99. The buy box does circulate, but price is a big factor in it. And so we think that it's like one person, or we're going to go get an X amount of these sales, but it's a lot more complex than that, right? Let's go back to the chat. Just a question. If I would like to sell on Amazon in Germany, do I need to register Germany VAT, or can I use VAT from another European country? I'm not 100% sure on the logistics side of that, bro. I could always look into it. And if you pop into live again, let you know. Because like I don't know how it works down in Europe, because for example, like in the US, where the state that your business resides in is where your business or operates in is where you technically, your business needs to, your LLC, your business documents need to be in. I live in California, but my business operates in Wyoming. California gets hit with, what is it, like 30% state tax, like something insane. Whereas Wyoming has 0% state income tax. So, you know, there's certain things in the US, not 100% sure with the Europe market. Okay, so remember, we're all competing here. And so it's not one person making this full 20K plus. It's probably the top sellers who have the best distribution in relationship with wholesale sellers. Now let's go, what should we look at? I'm going to show this product. I always show products that I don't want people to launch, because if you launch these products, good luck to you. Now we go look at something like this, private label. Actually, let's compare apples to apples, because we just showed a very competitive and obviously high reviewed market for wholesale. So let's actually do the same thing for private label. It's not a market I would launch in. It's very saturated, very competitive, but when we look at something like this, you actually see 56, maybe it's not apples to apples. The reviews are a little higher, But when we look at the average sales for these parent level sales, and you can see the brands right here. There's 2 brands, different listings, but for the most part, we have individual brands. One of them is Amazon Basics. One seller on one parent listing making 9 million a month. One seller, 5 million a month. That one is Amazon. One seller making 3 million a month. One seller, making 2.7. This seller has 2 listings equating to over 5 million a month, 2.4 million a month. And even if we go all the way down to the number 48 seller on this page, actually let's do 49 or 47. The 47th seller on this page is still doing 29,000 a month. Something tells me that between these 50 listings and the wholesale listings or the wholesale Nike sellers that we saw, the 50 of them, the potential, if you got into this market at the right time, it's too saturated now, it's much higher. But how about even not use a super saturated market here? Keep switching over just to make sure that we're still live. I wouldn't launch this product, just like we could go over why in a second. And we've been live for a minute here, son. Okay. So X-ray tool. We see average reviews much lower, but still total revenue, 12 million. We see average revenue pretty close to that Nike listing. But remember, you're able to differentiate. It's down to 4 million because I turned off sponsored products, but still solid numbers. And we go to parent level revenue here. 500,000, 500,000, all of these individual sellers, individual brands, some of them branded like Hello Kitty, 200,000. Even when we go down, let's go down to I don't know, this is probably like the number, 40 seller, 35 seller, still doing 12K, 11K, 13K. So I just think that private label is much evergreen. I think that the potential is much more. I think a lot of the negative cons that people say about private label are actually the pros to it. I have control over my listing. I can scale much easier than on wholesale and arbitrage. But on that note, everybody, if you guys like the lives and you guys like the videos, I appreciate y'all rocking with me, YouTube. We are going to be crushing it on YouTube this year, God willing. If you guys like the lives and videos, be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship Program in the YouTube bio. I hope y'all have a blessed weekend, and I will see y'all soon.